All right, good morning. Up at 4:03 today, and I only need the light so that you can see me because there's moonlight. The moon is going to be setting in a couple of hours, but it's back there. It's going to be in the sky each morning out here, which is great. And, I can do most of what I need to just by moonlight this morning. So, today will be our most modest mileage-wise, 7.2 miles to the next campsite. The last 1.2 miles should be pretty rugged and involves something called Heartbreak Ridge, which we have to get to the top of and then down the other side. So that will be a tough way to end the day, but it'll be pretty early. So once we get to Rock Creek campsite, it may be early enough that after we rest and get refreshed, we may decide to move a little farther down. But I think the next campsite after that is nearly 5 miles, so I'm not sure if I'll want to do nearly 12 or over 12 or whatever it would be. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, gonna get packed up and hit the trail. After crossing the bridge over there, the first 0.2 miles is supposed to be flat. That will be appreciated. All right, let's go. 5:25. All right, look out, people. Old dude on the move. Leaving Bear Gap campsite and crossing Bear Creek. So this is the perfect week of the month for me to be doing this because the moon is in its third quarter. It is just past full, and what that means is that in the morning when I'm up before the sun, the moon is still out and giving me some light as I break down camp and everything. So, as I mentioned, I didn't need the headlamp for most of what I had to do this morning. Not really bright enough to Okay, a little farther down the path. So what I was going to say is the moon is not quite bright enough for me to just hike by moonlight, but it's still pretty nice. So yeah, I spotted a food bag in the trees there. So that means somebody was camping over there. And last night, around 7 o'clock, and just before I was going to go to bed, I thought I heard a woman's voice from the other side of the creek. And then, I listened, didn't hear it again, and I thought, well, probably just my imagination. But then pretty soon, I spotted a couple coming from the other side there, going westbound. So they were on the other side of the bridge. And when they came to the bridge and came across it, they just kind of scoped out the campsite, and I said hi, and they said hi, and then they turned and went back across the bridge. And they didn't have packs on. They were just wearing shorts and t-shirts. So I thought, day hikers? How'd they get here? How'd they get to this spot? Because, there's no access that's close. And also, if they were out for a day hike or, a jog, it was getting pretty late. It was like, you better get back. What are you going to do? Night is about to fall. So now, having spotted that food bag, I guess they were backpacking, but they took their packs off before they crossed the bridge. Maybe they spotted me. Maybe they were planning on camping there. and they spotted me from the other side and thought, oh, there's somebody here. Didn't expect that. And took their packs off and decided to take a look. And either they didn't like the cut of my jib, or they just thought, because I was already set up there next to the fire ring grill, maybe they were looking at the other fire ring to see if that would work for them. I don't know. I hope I didn't foil their dinner plans or something like that. But anyway, looks like they found a spot on the other side of the bridge there. So, note to self, when I take my cap off this morning, don't put it in my back pants pocket. Put it in my jacket pocket. Because yesterday morning, I had it in my back pants pocket. And then I reached back to get it later and found that it wasn't there. So I thought, oh, it must have dropped and worked its way out and dropped on the path. So I considered going back to look for it, but I thought, well, all right, number one, I've still got bandanas for head warmth. They won't do much to keep my ears warm, but they'll retain heat that is coming from my head, at least. And number two, I knew that Max and Patrick were going to be leaving that campsite later, and it should be right in the middle of the path, so they should see it. And if they do, I'm sure they'll grab it. And sure enough, they did. Thank you so much, guys. So when they caught up with me there at mile 37-ish, they reunited me with my hat. 32.5 miles to Table Rock. So let's see, we got the Frozen Creek access and the Auger Hole Trail, 7.3 miles. Maybe the people that I saw last night, and whose food that is, came down that trail. So we're coming into Gorges State Park, North Carolina. Okay, so we go this way. .6:35, and we're getting first light here. So, yep, sun will be up soon. The sky was pinkish, and now the pinkish hue is gone. So, pretty soon here, gonna look for a spot. I mean, when the sun is actually visible, and we have full daylight. Gonna look for a spot, stop and have some breakfast. I mean, I had a pre-breakfast, but I'm ready for a little more. I had some questions about the menu, though. I want to order the sunrise special, but in place of the coffee, can I substitute water? Just have water, okay. And in place of the eggs and the bacon and the pancakes, the toast, the hash browns, could I just get a bowl of cold ramen noodles? Yeah, okay, great. I'll have that then. So, per the guidebook, 46.5, cross small stream on a wide lumber bridge. And that's what we've got. So, we've gone 4 miles this morning. Let's see. The trail ascends and veers to the right at a roadbed intersection in 0.2 miles. 1.3 miles from here is canebrake access. A large sign is present here. Okie doke. I guess you could swim here if you dare to use this thing as a ladder. And you can pull yourself up by the root there. I'm sure people do it. But first you got to get out here. Either by trail, which is a long way, or by boat. All right, we'll take a little break here. Up here, I've got the canister, which I'm going to use as a stool to sit on for a bit while I have a little peanut butter and cheese and a banana bread Belvita soft baked cookie. Those are pretty good. And I'm hungry. So a boat just came up the lake and has just cut off the motor. So one thing my shuttle driver told me is if you get in trouble during this stretch of the trail, potentially you could flag down a boat on Lake Jocassee if you happen to see one, and get bailed out that way. So if you plan to through hike this, just be aware that that's an option. Just keep that in the back of your mind in case you have some kind of problem. Are we ready to be on the other side of the river? Let's do it. Feel the bounce. Ooh, and feel the sway when a breeze comes through. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. There's a sign down there that says Toxaway River Trail Access. So that would be the canebrake trail that takes you to, I guess, car access in Gorges State Park. Canebrake trail that way. And 27.8 miles to Table Rock. Okay, 27.8 miles to go. Another little suspension bridge that crosses Toxaway Creek. Beautiful. Empties into the Toxaway River right there. And that fishing boat is just out of sight. It's coming up very close to the rocks to try to catch some good stuff. Is there a picnic table over there? Looks like there is. While we're letting some stuff dry, including the tent, which is hanging on the lantern pole, and while the camera is charging up a bit, let's go down here. Toxaway Creek. You've probably heard of pepperoni and peanut butter on a tortilla. That's a common enough meal for hikers. Have you heard of peanut butter and venison sticks? I'll testify that it's not great, but it's okay. There's some spiciness in the venison sticks, and the peanut butter offsets it, so I guess that's nice. Where do you get venison sticks, though? Well, you'll have to consult your local deer hunter. Tarp is drying out nicely, and the tent as well. So I guess this is Toxaway campsite. The guidebook says it's beside Toxaway Creek. So this is pretty nice. You can't beat having benches at your campsite. Very nice indeed. There ought to be a sign here. And then a sign that says that the next campsite is 1.2 miles, which is the Rock Creek. So now we're on the other side of the Toxaway River arm of Lake Jocassee. So it's 1.2 miles to Rock Creek campsite. In between here and there, we have to go up and down Heartbreak Ridge, which I'm told is quite beautiful when you get to the top of it. I found a staff to help me with the climb. Okay, it's 12:31, and here we go. We'll just take it slow and steady. That looks like it could be the top right up there. We'll wait till we see what's up there before we get our hopes up. And here at the top, we find a bench. Hey, all right. What does the bench face? Let's find out. Okay. Overlooking Lake Jocassee. Now we head off that way, and it kind of looks like we have a little more climbing to do. Well, there were more steps after that bench, and I just came up a particularly difficult set of steps. And then up there are even more steps. But the staff is helping immeasurably. And here's one of the views that we get. Are we at the top? No. Don't be silly. More stairs. I believe we are at the top. We came from that direction. Can you see anything going that direction? No, of course not, because steep steps go down right there. Should have seen old dude hobbling up that last stairway, which was kind of a ladder type of thing. Whew. I would love to have filmed it for you, but that ain't happening. Somebody would have to get to the top ahead of me and film it. Or you see it in person. That's the only way you're going to see it. Okay, the trail goes off this way, and then it looks like we're going to be descending on this side of the ridge. So we made that climb just so that we could come back down and be this close, elevation-wise, to Lake Jocassee. What was the point of that? But I'll tell you, if you gave me the choice and said, you can either go up and over Heartbreak Ridge, or you can do the 3 miles east of the Horse Pasture River. Yeah, 3 miles east of the Horse Pasture River, climbing up out of that valley. I would take Heartbreak Ridge in a heartbreak or something. Well, it's 1:44. We are at the Rock Creek campsite. So coming our way, eastbound, you cross that bridge and come right into the campsite, which is here. And looks like you could camp over there. But basically, you got this fire ring grill and at least these 2 benches. Easy access to Rock Creek for water. Let's find out. Might want to fill up before we leave if we can. That looks like it's possible. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you can get down there. How about this side? Yeah, it's doable. But it's only 1:44, so this was our goal for the day, to get here. And I thought, you know, it could be, I didn't know if Heartbreak Ridge would take me a long time, if I'd be really wiped out by the time I got here, but I'm not. So the next campsite is 4.5 miles down. Laurel Fork Falls, yeah. So Rock Creek, 49.7, Laurel Fork Falls at 54.2. So that's 4.5 miles down. Now we got to climb about 500-600 feet before we descend back to where that camp is. So I don't know. It'll probably take me till 6 or later to get there. I will stop as much as I want. I don't want to eat again here, so I'll probably stop a little farther down. So it may take me a while to get there, but that's okay. Slow and steady, and I should make it there before dark anyway. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, here's the sign. So there are cables here, and there's more, another area over there with benches and so forth. The one that we passed is down there near the bridge, but there are several access points along Rock Creek where you can fill up your water. Okay, Laurel Fork Falls, 4.5 miles down. Let's go. Now, even if we find that we can't make it another 4.5 miles, there's always, just some site to make our own little stealth site. One thing we're going to have to watch out for, though, is there's a 3-mile stretch along here with no water sources. So when we come to the next creek crossing, where there's a bridge, I believe, I'm going to need to fill up and then be prepared for the next 3 miles with no water, which means stopping in there to camp is probably not a good idea. Got to get on down to what's called Jackie's Branch, which flows through a 4-foot pipe, the guidebook says. And now we are back along the shore of Lake Jocassee as Rock Creek flows into it. Crossing back into South Carolina for good. So I just passed a couple westbounders. So that's 4 westbounders that I passed today. Haven't encountered any fellow EBOs, but according to the guidebook, you cross a small stream on a wide bridge with handrails, and this is the last water source for 3 miles. So we need to fill up here. How are we going to do that? Climb down those slanted logs? Now, let's try on this side. So, I think I can get down there. So I'll fill up there, and then 3-mile stretch. The trail is teasing us with this luxurious road, I think. So, just to the left there, if you can see those steps, trail comes down those steps. You can see a blaze just on that tree right there, and a tree up there, so that if you're going westbound, you can tell where to go. But you drop down onto this wonderful road with a nice sandy surface, and I thought, oh yes, a road walk for a while. Yes, please. But there's a blaze right there, and then that looks like a trail going up that way, and I see a blaze right there. So I think we got to go up there. I don't want to go up there. I want to walk the road. Well, I guess it's unbecoming for an old dude to whine. So instead I'll climb. Yeah, here's another blaze right here. So that confirms it. Up we go. Now, I lost sight of it only briefly, but I'm 97% certain that that's the same road down here. So, really, trail, are you going to drop us right back down onto that road? You mean I could have taken the road as a bypass? Okay, so for you EBOs, that's what I call an eastbounder, yes, you can take this road. Yeah, that has to be the same one. So in case you just want to take a short bypass, you can do that. Now we're back on this road, and okay, double blazes. Probably telling us we have to turn off again. Oh, over here. Okay, we got to turn off the road again. Do I dare just try walking down it anyway? No, I don't dare, because the trail might split away from it. You never know. This reminds me of, let's see, is it the Picture Rock Trail in the Clarion River lands in Pennsylvania? There's an old logging road, and I guess it's on private property. There are no trespassing signs all along it, between it and the trail. But the trail uses a portion of it, and then it goes zigzagging up along the hillside parallel to it, and then eventually, I think, rejoins it briefly and then leaves it. And so it's kind of a cruel trick when there's a logging road that is possible to walk along, and it's right beside you, and you're twisting through the woods on a parallel path. So here we come to a blank sign. Well, okay, it's not blank on the other side, but I notice a trail going back this way, blue blazes, and that is the boat access spur trail, 3/10 of a mile. So, Lake Jocassee and the Foothills Trail. 22.6 miles to go. And we go that way. And just past that point is Jackie's Branch, flowing through that pipe. And if we can get down to the water there, which I think we can replenish. So, that was a 3-mile stretch with no water sources until now. right. It looks like we made it. Dawkins Flat campsite. Another 9/10 of a mile. No, I'm not going to be tempted. I believe we have to cross that bridge to get over to the camping area. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay. Well, where are we camping? Are there any benches here? I do like the sound of listening to the creek or river or whatever all night, but I don't think I want to be right down there because the river will throw a little bit more mist up onto my tent and stuff, you know? Oh, look, there's benches over there. Nice. Oh, here we go. All right, good. We got benches we can use. I'll look over here, backside of the camping area. We can go down to there. So the guidebook says, use caution. Many people have died at these falls.